Hi, my name is Carolyn Miller. I am the author of The Love Penalty, which has just released. This is the second book in the Northwest Ice Christian hockey romance series and can be read as a standalone. So if you're somebody who enjoys hockey romance, if you're somebody who enjoys realistic, relatable heroines, then I hope you'll check it out. I'm going to read a little bit from chapter 2. And this is where we have Ryan, who is our hero, meeting Sylvie, who's working in a bookstore. They've met before at a friend's place. She does not want him knowing that she's there. She doesn't want him thinking that she's chased him to his hometown because she hasn't. So yes, it's a nice awkward moment that's got a little bit of humor in it too, so I hope you enjoy. Okay. Ryan's heart thudded. No way. He took a step back, noticed how Sylvie angled herself away as if she didn't want to be seen by him, and that movement drew his suspicions. Was it her? It must be. Nobody else around here looked like that. And why else wouldn't a sales assistant want to help a potential customer? Unless she was like one of those restocking agents in a grocery store who always acted offended when someone mistook them for actually working there. Or maybe that was just him overthinking things. Whatever, her move was shady enough for him to clear his throat and say, "Hey, I don't suppose you know where the military fiction is?" There was a long pause, then a faint, "Nope." Huh. Some assistant Sylvie was, if indeed she actually worked here. Maybe she was just a customer, although she was dressed like she was working and not browsing, and without any of those skulls and things that had led him in past days to do some internet searching to find out more about this woman who so intrigued him. "Excuse me?" He waited, but she still didn't turn to look at him, which made him ask again more loudly, "Excuse me?" He heard a sigh, then, "Yes." He crossed his arms, mouth twitching. If this really was her, he couldn't understand why she didn't want to act like an adult and actually face him. Same went for if it wasn't. And hey, while he wanted to fly under the radar, it was a blow to his ego to have her ignore him if she really was whom he hoped. So he tried one more time. "Do you work here?" A louder sigh, this time accompanied by slumped shoulders. "Yes." "Then could you please turn around and face me? I could really do with some help." "Excuse me?" Mari's voice came from behind them. "Is there a problem?" Ryan closed his eyes. See, this was now exactly what he hadn't wanted to happen. Things were escalating into drama he really didn't need. "Sylvie?" Bingo, so it was her. "What are you doing up there? Surely you've had time enough to put those books away by now. Come down at once." The slump in Sylvie's shoulders became more pronounced. And as much as he, too, wanted to know the answer to that question, and more like, what on earth was she doing in Red Deer and not Calgary? He couldn't help but notice the way she looked at Mari, almost like she was scared, which drew protectiveness as he offered her a half smile, then turned to face Mari, who instantly smiled. "Ryan, I'm so sorry for my new assistant. It's her first day on the job and she's still learning how we do things around here. If there's anything I can help you with, I'd be very happy to oblige." "Thanks, Mari, but I needed to talk to Sylvie." "Oh," Mari's eyes rounded. "I didn't realize that you two knew each other." "We met through Mike and Bree Vaughan." He side-eyed Sylvie, catching the way she tensed. Why exactly was she here? Her actions so far hadn't screamed Jersey chaser or crazed van stalker. Quite the opposite, which made a nice change. "I see." Judging from the way Mari was eyeing him, no, she didn't. And because she knew his mum, he didn't want Mari getting crazy ideas and passing them on before he'd had a chance to explain. "We're friends." He caught the start of surprise from the woman still standing on the steps as Mari's gaze drifted to her, then back to him. "Well, Sylvie did mention that she knew them, so I guess this confirms that." He fought the inclination to frown. One of the perks of being a little bit famous was people believing you over less well-known types, which sometimes had its benefits, but other times kind of sucked. "We'll be fine, thanks," he said as firmly as he could. Mari seemed to get the hint and nodded and moved away, leaving him to pivot to face Sylvie again. He smirked. "Did you seriously try to ignore me before?" Her dark gaze stole into him with that same intensity as back in Mike's house. Then she gripped. Then she shrugged. I'm not a groupie, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I figured that from the way you tried to pretend I wasn't here. She exhaled loudly. Hey, are you ever planning to come down so we can talk like normal people? Speak for yourself, buddy, she muttered. His lips twitched, and he waited, hands on hips, as she slowly moved, that tight skirt doing her plenty of favours as she slowly descended. Sylvie! At Mari's call, Sylvie pivoted. Her high-heel booted foot slipped, and she spun to face him, her eyes wide with panic, arms flailing. Oh! Whoa! He braced and caught her, then staggered back. Sylvie was flush against his chest, her face an inch away, her wide eyes finding his. His arms tightened. You okay? She nodded, and somehow in that moment, as her chin dipped and her arms slipped around his shoulders, somehow, his mouth lowered and brushed hers. Then, as she sighed, his eyes closed and her lips firmed, and he sank into wonder. Sylvie! Sylvie jerked away, untangling herself, tugging her skirt down, even though he'd certainly had nothing to do with that. But it was apparent from Mari's open mouth she wouldn't believe anything he said, as it looked awfully like a place that a spectacular kiss like that could take them to. And now it seemed several other customers had appeared, the youngest of which was holding up a phone. Whoa, talk about a mess. He covered his culprit mouth with his hand. Sorry about that, he murmured to his partner in kissing crime. Don't be, Sylvie muttered. You'll do better next time. So there's just a little snippet from The Love Penalty. I hope that you'll check it out. I think it's a really good story of redemption, of the importance of family and friends, and I do hope that you'll enjoy it. All right, thank you.